Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're calling in from. We have Nandit here from Lighthouse, who will be doing a workshop on perpetual storage and building token-gated applications. If you have any questions, they can go into the Zoom chat, and it will be more than happy to answer them. And with that being said, I'll pass the mic off to Nandit.
Awesome. Thank you. So, hey everyone, welcome to Lighthouse. So, today I'll give a session on what Lighthouse is and what do we mean by perpetual storage and how you can store your data on Lighthouse and build token gated applications using the Lighthouse SDK. So, if you have any questions, meanwhile, just drop in the chat. Happy to answer them all. So, we'll just go through basic overview and then even show you a live demo as well. And yeah, like George Orwell once famously said that who controls the past controls the future, and who controls the present controls the past. Again, like referencing to the issue of information control and manipulation. And in the past, we have seen like libraries being burned down and scholars being buried. Like most famously, like Library of Alexandria was destroyed. In India, there was like very famous Nalanda University, which got vanished. And most recently, Iraq National Library got bombarded. So the point being, like data physically is not totally secure. It can be destroyed due to various reasons. Although most people might think that data on uh, like digitally on the internet is secure, but also that's not the case. In Web 2, the data is also transient and it faces two key problems of link rot, which refers to like broken links, as it was seen that around 25% of links in the New York Times article do not even point to the original content. And the second thing is content drift. This again refers to the issue of content manipulation, data loss, or let's say DNS changes, pointing like aside to again like a manipulated or a different content which was previously meant to be. And in Web3, again, we see like this problem still persist with your files. Web3, we have seen like there have been like user-owned app concept, and we are creating experiences and NFTs in which user own their data. But the problem again has like the records and transactions of all of these data has like permanent on Ethereum, but the files are not. And hence we saw recently with FTX as when the centralized platform got down, NFT, all the FTX NFTs eventually went broke. And also on OpenSea, we realized that many NFTs, due to their centralized point of failure, do not even point to like the original link. And in many cases, like this case, it says like not found. So yeah, that's why we thought, okay, let's build Lighthouse. And we identified like there has to be, 4 key properties on the storage layer side to make it like work for all kind of use cases. First is persistence. So with Lighthouse, when you store data, we store it on IPFS and Filecoin and ensure minimum replications of your files and that your files are stored long term forever. So let's say rather than renewing your Filecoin deals, you can pay once and need not renew deal again and again. So permanent storage on Filecoin. And underlying there is this endowment pool model that pays for your files till perpetuity. And the second thing is like a lot of users demanded us like, can we store like private data on IPFS or Filecoin using your SDK? So then we even build uh, this feature into the Lighthouse SDK where you can not just store even private data, but even token gate your resources and files, which I'll also demo today. And third thing is again, like this property then we inherit from using IPFS and Filecoin underneath, which is like being tamper-proof and distributed. So Filecoin has a big miner network and has like around 18 exabytes of data capacity onboarded. So which again allows us to, serve like big scale data as well and like distribute your data on like bunch of miners. And the fourth thing is again, many people complain that distributed storage systems are like quite slow. So we even have like dedicated gateways using which you can like store and retrieve back all kinds of files, be it image, video. You can even like stream 4K video out of it. So it's like quite fast. And yeah, as I was talking about, underneath Lighthouse, we have the smart contract based growth endowment pool, as we call it, which ensures that our files are stored to perpetuity. And it's like multi-chain and it's controlled by a DAO. And when you pay for a file, some part of it goes to the Filecoin miner, and remaining part goes to this endowment pool where it accrues fees through various protocols. And yeah, as of now, Lighthouse suite contains three things. One is our CLI tool. Next is our SDK, which I would highly recommend using in your hackathon projects, which is like this NPM package that you can either import on your website, front end, like React, Vue, or whichever framework that you like. And another thing is like backend in Node.js as well. And third thing is again our website, which is Lighthouse Storage, and I'll also demonstrate our Lighthouse Files app right now. So yeah, this is our main site, and the URL is lighthouse.storage. So you can, as for starters, you can come here and click on this Store Files Now button, and then you can log into like whichever login method that you prefer, like through MetaMask, if you prefer any other chain, or Google, GitHub, email login as well. So we also support like Filecoin Wallaby as a test network. So given like this is a FAM hackathon, so I'd highly recommend you to connect to Wallaby and build applications around it. Yeah, but you can easily log in through your MetaMask wallet and view all the files that has been uploaded. So if you want to upload like a public file, uh, let's say this file, that again, like the upload is quite fast. And all of these functionalities that I'm showing you, you can do these from our SDK as well. So this is like just as a demo purpose that what all functionalities you can do with Lighthouse. And let's say if you want to upload an encrypted file, you can turn on the encryption, and let's select one of these files. And again, for this encryption, you need to sign in from your wallet to authorize. And then you can view this, connect to your wallet, sign again, and then you should be able to view this file, which you just uploaded. And if you try to download it from the IPFS network, you will be able to, but then that will be encrypted file, and only the authorized persons can view this file after signing from their wallet. But that's not just it. You can even do like more things with it. So since it's an encrypted file, you'll see like there's a blue button here called as Apply Access Control. So if I click on here, I can add a condition. And I can add a condition like, let's say if you are on Wannabe, which is like the Filecoin test network, and if you want only the owners of a particular NFT collection to view this particular file, so you can select whichever token that you want to have the logic on, let's say ERC721, which is the NFT token. And then you can mention the contract address here. And let's say I want only the users who have more than or equal to 3 of these NFTs on Wallaby chain to access this file. I can mention more than equal to 3 and then create access condition. And I can also create, multiple conditions as well. So let's say 3 tokens, NFT tokens on Wallaby chain, but 1,000 Uniswap tokens on Polygon chain. Even like that can be done, like chain logic can be built around it. So I can then put in like, let's say if this is the Uniswap token address, then create access condition. And then I can create like a combination of these conditions as well, like C1 and C2. So now what it means is like the user in their wallet has to satisfy both of these conditions, and only then they will be able to view this file. And then you can like create access condition and then again authorize from your wallet. And then if I now share this file or link to whoever I want to, and if they satisfy those 2 conditions in their wallet, after signing in, they should be able to decrypt the file. And again, like this is something that you can do from our Lighthouse SDK, which is like the key purpose for this hackathon. You should be using Lighthouse SDK to qualify for the bounties as well, which I'll talk about. And yeah, as for developers, you can come here, get an API key, and again, sign from your wallet to generate that API key, copy this API key, and then here's our documentation link, which you can also find from our main site as well, clicking on this documentation page. And here we have like bunch of code examples. Let's say if you want to try out our CLI, but let's say if you want to integrate into your browser frontend or Node.js backend. So we have bunch of code examples here. So let's say if you want to upload the file here. So you can like just copy paste this code, enter the API key here, and just start uploading files to Lighthouse. And even on access condition side, which I just demonstrated. So there are like bunch of code examples here, like on Node.js, you can apply the success control conditions and mention whichever chain and what the condition has to be. And the access conditions are multiple. Like I showed you how you can add in like a ERC721 logic to token gate your file, or ERC20 logic, but you can also even apply time-based access control as well. So let's say if you want to time lock a file for, let's say, next 1 day, or if you want to unlock a file only after next 1 month. So accordingly, you can specify that block number here that only allow to access this file only when this block number has passed. So again, this is pretty interesting like feature that you can use to build some useful app on in this hackathon as well, which I highly recommend. And coming back to our presentation, your Lighthouse files and for this SDK, as I just showed, you can go to our documentation. This is the link for that. And yeah, some of the use cases that I would love to talk about. So for example, Ocean Protocol, we did an integration with them recently. So now all the Ocean economy and an Ocean ecosystem dApps will be able to store data on Filecoin through the Lighthouse SDK. And then there's this another great project called as OK Contract. So they created something very interesting, like these Web2 widgets. So these Web3 widgets that you can, embed into any front end, be it any Web2 or Web3 front end. So let's say if you want to have a NFT functionality, so you can, rather than implementing it from scratch, OK Contract build this on Lighthouse that they had this minting NFT functionality, and the data is being stored on, the NFT data is being stored on Lighthouse. And now anybody can just go and use OK Contract widget into their front end and then start storing files on Lighthouse. And then Link is another like gaming project. So they are storing all their gaming assets on Lighthouse as well. But yeah, I think as part of this hackathon, there's already an idea list, which I think you can find on the Space Warp site. But there, this is like another bunch of examples that you can take an idea from, like what is possible with Lighthouse. But again, this is like just some basic raw examples. You can even build some more interesting examples. But yeah, if you want to try like something like pay-per-view media, time-locked retrieval, those things can be interesting to experiment, or you can use it generally for your DAO storage or NFT storage if you are using any of those ideas into your projects. And as part of this hackathon, we are sponsoring in total of $2,500, which will be divided among 5 projects. So let's say $500 per project. So for the best use of Lighthouse SDK. Yeah, so here is our website, lighthouse.storage, and this is our Discord. You can also find that again on the website as well. But feel free to scan this link, and happy to answer any questions. So it says, so one question is, how would we whitelist wallets to view? So yeah, again, this is something that you can do through our SDK as well. So like just to show you the UI interface of it, let's say rather than doing this apply access control part, you can just click on this share button and enter all the addresses here, like all the public address you want to share, and then those addresses will be whitelisted, and only then they can view this file. This functionality, again, you can implement from our SDK as well. There should be code example to whitelist public addresses who can view this file. And next question is, how do the conditions get applied? Can you provide insights into how these work behind the hood? Yeah, I think that's a very interesting question. And I think we also had a blog around it as well on our site on how this encryption works. But yeah, underlying we use like this threshold cryptography. So every file gets its own unique decryption key, and encryption key or decryption key, whichever, whatever you want to call it. And then that key is splitted using threshold cryptography, like BLS cryptography, and split it across various Lighthouse nodes. And none of the nodes know the full key part of the file, so like they cannot decrypt the file on their end. But when you as a user, you authorize from your wallet, as I was showing on like signing from your MetaMask. So all of those Lighthouse nodes verify on their individual end that does this user have access to the file, and then they share their key parts, which is aggregated on the client's end. So we also, open sourced our this SDK as well. So for if people want to use it for other storage systems as well, you can do that. Like we call it Kavach. So underlying it uses threshold cryptography to make this magic happen. And let me see what's the another question. How many sites have integrated the wallet? I'm not sure what does that mean, how many sites have integrated the wallet. If you can again ask, what do you mean by that? And Manu asked, can we use Lighthouse SDK with Ionic framework or App Gear? I think what I'm not sure about these frameworks. I think these are primarily front-end frameworks. If yes, then just post it on our Discord channel. One of our team members should get back to you on how should you do it. But essentially, if Ionic already supports NPM package, then you should be able to do it. And then there's a question on how do endowment pool works. So yeah, right now, this endowment pool is not totally live. It's like live on a test network, but it like we just got it audited last week, and then it will go live mainnet in the coming month. But yeah, what you can imagine how endowment pool works is you can imagine it like a DAO, which is controlling this pool of funds, and this pool of funds ensure that your files has total perpetuity. So when you pay for a file, some part of it goes to the Filecoin miners as per the replications we've asked for, and the remaining amount, the buffer amount, goes to this smart contract-based endowment pool, which is like collective for all the users' buffer amount. Not just you, but every user's buffer amount goes to this endowment pool, and it will be transparent, so you can check, okay, what's the estimated amount in the pool and how many estimated number of years this pool can support. And this also accrues fees through DeFi protocols, through our encryption, bandwidth, and other functionality usage as well as those generate fees. And yeah, another question is, we will support hyperspace testnet? Will it support? Yeah, definitely. I think it should be added in a couple of hours, hyperspace testnet. But right now, Wallaby is already live, but hyperspace should be done soon. So we'll update on the Discord as well when it's done in a couple of hours or by the morning. And then the question is, how does Lighthouse decide or judge what a good implementation is? So I think, yeah, just make something which could be interesting. Again, it's tricky to say like what would be the best implementation, but I think there's like bunch of projects that you can refer to in the ETH Global projects history as well. So just see, okay, what are the winning projects and what are the common trends between them. One thing that I would definitely encourage is whatever you do, you have enough time, so make that thing live. Host it on a, let's say, Versal or any other platform that you prefer, or like just make it live so that users can actually go and use it. So I think making the product live as much as possible, as much as usable, and not just keeping it local host or on your GitHub would definitely be important. And Lighthouse SDK, you can use it either for storing your data, or it can be used for like this encryption and token gated functionality as well. So obviously, if somebody goes far to, leverage all the functionalities that we have, that makes up extra marks for them. But generally, you can also use it for like storage, like even public file storage as well. That should be no problem. And another question is, what's the maximum storage we can use for free? So like right now, whenever you sign up, like using your wallet, you get 1 GB free. So we can like this increasing the storage capacity part will go live officially in the coming week. But meanwhile, you can uh, message us on Discord if there's like more amount you want for this hackathon purpose. We can manually top it up as well. But yeah, I think those are some of the questions and happy to answer if there's any more questions from the audience.
All right. I guess that's all the questions for now. As Nandit said, if you have any more questions, oh, it looks like someone's asking if you could post the GitHub URL. But otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to join the Lighthouse Discord. It is posted in the Sponsor Lighthouse Discord channel on the Space Warp Discord. And I'm sure someone from their team would be more than happy to answer. And the Discord's right there. And otherwise, Nandit, thank you so much for actually, I think you're getting a couple more questions if you want to answer them.
Yeah, so I've posted a GitHub link as asked by Julio, and Shikhar is asking what specifically a data DAO is. So I think that's a very interesting question, and I think there are like bunch of resources as well that you can refer to on like Google around this. But essentially, I think how most of the uh, DAOs that we have seen on Ethereum are, collaborating around just pool of funds. I would say data DAO uh, users can, have uh, like control over data. Maybe they can even contribute to that data together and even monetize that data as well. So let's say somebody like, even let's say OpenAI, which is like one of the most uh, great examples of what's happening in the AI right now with the chat GPT model. So imagine if a lot of users together come together and have, let's say, genetic data in one place, and they, let's say, all hospitals in a place, they collectively pool data resources and they control and they can, let's say, monetize that data. And also, let's say, if somebody wants to use that data, they can, let's say, have an on-chain royalty or something like that to access it. But I think, yeah, this is something, a topic that you can learn more about on even like Filecoin site as well. But generally, you can imagine it like a way to uh, collaboratively bring data together and even monetize data. And I think that could be very interesting use case that people should explore. So, for example, I know one of the projects which is building on FVM right now, they build something called as Glacier DAO. So, like how GitHub had their haptic code want, I think Glacier DAO is doing that same thing with, let's say, users can bring in their code repos and then that is stored together, and maybe there's a way to monetize that. And maybe in future, somebody can run compute on that. Let's say GitHub has their own GitHub Copilot, but somebody in future can use Glacier DAO's data, and Glacier DAO contributors can get paid uh, whoever, like as per their contribution to this DAO. So, but yeah, I think even ETH Global, there was a summit previously, so there's a video on this like FEVM summit, unlocking data DAOs with FEVM. So must check this, what these guys are doing with Glacier DAO, Lagrange DAO, etc. So those could be a starting point. Um, but yeah, I'll also drop in some of these resources in um, our Discord as well. And is there any other question? So retrieving data from Lighthouse can be data time specific. Again, this is something that maybe you can ask in our Discord. Right now, I think it's like on the block time. So let's say if you want to uh, access control it, that the file can only be viewed after some specific number of blocks, then maybe I think you can multiply that with like whatever the block time is, and then get the amount for which the file will be locked. But if you are asking specifically for uh, like, let's say, lock disk content for next 1 year, this is something you can ask in our Discord. But I think right now we support just block times. Well, I think Anna, you are muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, Nandit, for taking the time to do this workshop. And thank you so much for the rest of you for tuning in and asking so many questions. Definitely feel free to keep asking any questions you have in their Discord channel. And with that being said, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. And the hackathon officially starts tomorrow. So excited to see what you all build. Thanks.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you.